Alright, so today we are breaking down the overhead squat with the one and only Christine Kuby. I had the chance, or the privilege, I should say, to coach Christine in this movement the other day, only to find out after class that she hates this movement. Can you believe it? She hates the overhead squat? I know, right? How can anybody hate the overhead squat? No, but with all seriousness, this is definitely a movement that she does put a lot of time and effort into. Good chance that if you ever go to the open lift, you will see her there practicing the overhead squat. So with that said, we're going to go back to the first rep and just break down a little bit. Overhead squat, one of those movements that are definitely easier said than done, but also the cueing for it is rather simple. So it's kind of catch-22 there. Very awkward movement, but the cueing for it is pretty simple. So first things first, we're going to notice that Christine is going to take a super deep breath, creating a lot of tension in the core before we actually start the movement. There it is, finally. And this is, first things first. Create that tension, nice deep breath before we actually do the movement. So in this position, before we actually look at the squat, we're looking at the startup. The feet right outside the hips, slightly pointed out, and then the bar is directly up over those shoulders. The head is poking through the window just slightly, and we're going to see that as she does the squat, that head will come through just a little bit more. So that's what we're going to look at on the first rep. Head's coming through, bar is still over the shoulders clearly, but why is that head coming through? Well, because we sat back and down. All right, it is a squat. We do need to keep the weight on our heels, and if we're sitting back and down, we're going to create this nice tight back angle right here. So that's why the head came through a little bit more. Now we are going to talk about the descent on the second one. So we looked at the head. Now we're going to look at, I'm sorry, Christine, we're going to take a look at your butt now. So it is a squat. We do have to sit back and down, okay? Something I already told you guys. What is that going to do? It's going to keep all the weight on our heels. So as we do this movement, we're going to see that she's sitting back. She's going to sit down, okay? And we're going to watch those heels not move at all, okay? So we could hit a nice deep position, all the weight's driving on the heels. Now, what a lot of us are afraid of is that back down position, and what will happen is we'll just kind of sink straight down. Now, you only have to go a couple of inches into your descent that way to realize that this will put all the weight on your toes, okay? Whether it's an air squat, overhead squat, front squat, I don't care what kind of squat you are doing, you will never be efficient at it if you're putting the weight in the toes. So again, looking at the heels, they are not moving. If we looked at from the front, we'd see her knees driving out nice and wide. Now, as we break down a little bit slower, Christine's going to take a lot of time at the top as the set goes on. So this is a heavy set of 5. We want to be stable before we start the movement. She's breathing here at the top. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then, well, let's go back to a mid-set. Breathing at the top in between the rep. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Creating out tension, nice deep breath, and then going into the actual squat. So one of those things that the overhead squat, like I said, it's a squat. All right, we're sitting back and down, keeping the weight on our heels. We just have that bar over our head now, or over our shoulders, I should say, with the head through the window. One of those things, you guys, just practice. Practice makes perfect, and we could see that with Christine's beautiful overhead squats right here. Thanks, Christine.